Gujarati society, the whole guild system was very strong, and the strongest ethic was to earn in order to give away. Gujarat changed very dramatically with the complete failure of the textile mills in the middle of the 70s. And what happened was that the families who had been brought up on this particular ethic, that charity was really what life was about, suddenly got either pushed out or wiped away, and a new brand of business people came into the state for whom showing wealth was the most important. So the new generation of Gujarat's business people took this ostentation as, this meant that there was suddenly a disconnect between what your dharma was for giving and for charity and for helping other people, and for keeping it yourself. In this, the BJP started coming in by starting something like 75,000 shakhas, where little boys started being trained, dressed in their proper Hitlerian clothes. Textbooks started being changed. Small changes in newspapers, so that a 5th standard textbook would say, for instance, I'm just trying to explain the insidiousness of change. Akbar, in spite of being a Muslim, was a great emperor. Simple change. Similar changes among women. In spite of being a woman, she attempted to be a doctor. From age 6, this sort of textbook change. We started noticing it very rapidly after Babri Masjid in 92. And in Darpana, our response was that we started a platform where different people who were concerned about issues of non-violence could come together to create, to paint, to write that could affect society. This continued so that without people realizing, their entire mentality was being changed. By the time 2002 happened, no, I have to put another thing in. Gujaratis have traditionally been seen by the rest of the country as cowards, because there are rather than, not more than 10 or 15 Gujaratis who go into the military services, practically none go into the police service, practically none go into sports or anything which is considered macho. And Gujaratis have suffered this because of their wealth. And they have hidden behind the wealth. Now, in 2002, the whole pogrom, the whole genocide was planned meticulously. Ostensibly, after Ram Janmabhoomi, the train full of car sevaks was coming back. Miscreants threw fire into the train compartment. 2 compartments, ostensibly with 53 car sevaks, got burnt. And ostensibly, the violence that followed was a reaction. This happened on the 27th of February. On the 26th of February, in all the major cities, the electoral rolls were in the hands of the RSS and VHP leaders, who sat with their colleagues, marking which houses were Muslim, which establishments were rented by Muslims but the buildings were not Muslim, which establishment had buildings which were Muslim but the inside products were not Muslim. This was on the 26th. These lists were then distributed on the 27th, before the fire, in the train. This is all fact. This is not conjecture. This is fact. It is proved. It is written down. It is documented. So the lists were in the hands of the people. Which society, which building, which establishment, which shop. Before the train caught fire. Within 20 minutes of the train catching fire, before a single news report was out, the mayhem had started. The now Law Minister, has been videoed in the police control room with the now head of Gujarat Police, telling people on the phone, don't control the mobs, give them 72 hours. This is on record, on film. The now Minister of Health is recorded in an interview standing outside the house of Ehsan Jafri, ex-MP, Congress MP. As he is phoning, he made 70 odd phone calls within 8 hours to everybody from Narendra Modi and the head of police to Sonia Gandhi. He was dismembered again on video. First his balls were cut off, then his penis was cut off, he was made to live. Then his hands were chopped off, and slowly, slowly each part was chopped off. The Tehelka tapes have the people who did this, who are still free and who are still ruling the roost. One of them is the head of the Baroda Dairy, another one is the head of the Mehsana Dairy. It is on record that they are saying, हाँ, और उसके बाद नरेंद्र मोदी ने हम पे आके हमें garlands पहनाए और हमें कहा चिंता मत करो कुछ नहीं हो. This is on tape. And even today, after the Tehelka tapes, after the ministers have been caught on tape, admitting, gloating over and saying it was a good thing, they roam free. The ministry is still in place, and Gujarat still says, of course we knew it was like that, but so what? That, my friend, is the story of Gujarat. I took them to the Supreme Court. I was hounded, false cases were put on me. I was accused of being an illegal kabutar, as they are called, taking people abroad illegally as immigrants and letting them down. My passport was taken away. I was not allowed to go outside Ahmedabad unless I moved the High Court. They brought the warrant on the day before Diwali when the court went on vacation for 20 days so that they could have thrown me in. I couldn't have had bail. I escaped in the boot of a car, and for 20 days I hid. I tried to disguise myself. I couldn't use the cell phone. I had one colleague with me. We jumped from airport to airport. We tried to hide in houses where we couldn't be found till the court reopened on the 1st of November, and I could ask for bail, come back into Ahmedabad. After that, for 2 years, there were continuous cases on me. Charity Commission, income tax, there were people outside Darpana trying to burn Darpana down. My dancers were getting calls at midnight saying, unless you give us evidence against her, we will abduct your children. And even to this day, there is not a single week that passes when there is not a case against me, not an inquiry against me. Even today, after 6 years, Darpana does not have 1 rupee of corporate sponsorship, because the minute somebody comes into the Darpana gate, it is reported to the Chief Minister's office, and the Chief Minister within 15 minutes phones the corporate and says, do you want to lose your licenses to operate in Gujarat? 6 years. Please.
Ma'am, here. All the questions to you have been coming from your left, from your right, one question.
Is it really philosophically in the right as well? Okay.
What you had said about Gujarat, the pogrom, I was in Gujarat shortly after the Surat riots, and I had gone...
The Surat riots when the videos were passed around of the rape of the... I'm talking of the Surat riots when the videos were passed around of the Hindus raping the Muslims and then it was sold as pornography?
There was a major riot of the Hindus, there was a communal riot. I was there in Surat shortly after that, and I had gone for a business transaction to Baroda Rayon Corporation. Baroda Rayon was sick, and the government and people were trying to revive it. Now, Baroda Rayon is one of the, it used to be one of the prime business houses of...
Sayaji Rao's family, wasn't it?
Yes. Now, I met one Anwar Bhai. Now, Anwar Bhai was pumping in money to revive Baroda Rayon. He was taking it on lease. Now, here was a case where there was, barely 6 months before, there was the severe communal riot in Surat, and here I was negotiating with Anwar Bhai and one of the other group, that is the Baroda Rayon family members, we were negotiating something. Then coming out, I asked them, I said, what is this communal riot and all this that happens? They said, this is a regular thing in Gujarat, there is nothing new about it. It has been happening for centuries. We are basically a business community, so whenever one gets little more stronger, the other tries to beat them down. And it really doesn't have anything to do with communalism. This was what was conveyed to me. And even in the recent past, when Narendra Modi won the election, I have some friends in Gujarat who are in business. I was talking to them, they said, both communities, we want Narendra Modi to win because he is good for business. Now correct me if I am wrong on this. The second question that I have for you, recently there's been these riots in Orissa. There was a Swamiji who was killed by so-called Maoists or somebody, and then
the Christians have had it.
Yeah, they started attacking the churches and stuff. There was a discussion on Telugu television about this. And there was this obviously there was one Hindu man with a tilak and there was another Christian gentleman sitting there. So the Hindu man was saying that, see, it's not that we are against any religion, we are open for all religions, but this forced conversion of tribals is getting to our this thing, and so there was somebody who was contesting against this. The Christian person says, I quote, see, this was a barbaric, savage country. It is only when the Christian missionaries came, education, health, all these things have come into this country. This was, he believed in it and he spoke it. Now, when you say that history books were corrected in Gujarat,
not only history, social studies.
Whatever, some education. Now, a lot of us have been brought up on educational, on books which were written by people who had absolutely no connection with the roots of India. And they have made us believe that the cool temperate climate of England is the best weather and hot tropics are
The mutiny of 1857 and we call it the War of Independence.
No,
That's different.
see, when you were saying that history books have been corrected, no, it's been a...
I didn't say history books, that's what I'm trying to say. I did not say history books, I said textbooks.
Textbooks,
even
okay.
literature.
Fine, textbooks have been corrected. So we have also gone through textbooks which have
No, I'm interrupting because the history book phenomenon is a completely different phenomenon. I'm saying I'm not talking of whose perspective history is. I'm saying even stories were changed.
Fine.
That's right.
So we have also been brought up on a geography where we are taught that cool temperate climate is the best climate in the world and hot tropics create laziness. These are things which we were taught by primary school teachers. Now, these kind of changes happen when the people in power change. So I think that's a process which is going on. And the last thing I want to ask you is,